Hey guys, Mary from SVG Cuts here with some brand new cards, some box cards, and for Mother's Day, which is coming up soon here in the US and also way beyond. So I figured Mother's Day coming up was a good reason to make some fun new shapes of box cards that I've never made before, such as the teapot, the typewriter, and the little oven. But of course you can make them for whoever you have in mind, for their birthday, for a thank you, for congratulations, really for anything. And if if the moms that you have in mind are into other stuff or would think something else is cute, you could adapt just about anything to suit whoever you want, which is the cool part about just getting creative and getting crafty. So like if you want to make someone a golf cart box card, we have those for Father's Day, but of course you could make that for a woman too, obviously. So I hope you have a blast making these. I've got all the pieces cut out. The paper that I used this time was from My Mind's Eye. It's called Hello Gorgeous. I got it a couple months ago, maybe like 5 months ago from a cherryontop.com. But I've seen it on Amazon, and also it's on sale right now on a cherryontop.com. I just was looking because I used it recently. But like I always say, whatever kind of paper you have in mind that you want to use is going to look awesome, and I can't wait to see your take on these projects. So as always, in your download, you get the PDF, which you can look at on your computer or on your iPad, or print out and keep in a binder, or don't even look at it at all. Whatever floats your boat is totally fine. It just shows you all the pieces, and for the box cards, it shows you how the little inserts are, how they get glued together. But what else? For these stamps that I used, I got these last year at Michael's in 2015. They're from Hero Arts. I don't know if they still have them at Michael's. They might not, but I did a little search online, and if you look in the PDF, it says like the product number. I looked that up, and I saw a couple of them on eBay. So if you're dying to get those, they're still online, but you can use whatever kind of stamp you have in mind, or just write something cute in there. And then for the little oven box card, I have a couple of fun new embellishments. I got these from a Cherry on Top, and when we put together the oven box card, I'll show you up close more about what those are. But fun embellishments are always fun. So I've got all my pieces cut out to show you how these go together. So let's get started. So first of all, for our little retro oven box card, I've got the embellishment layouts laid out here in your PDF. So you can either look at that, you can print it out and look at it, or just look at it on your computer, or what have you, whatever's easier. It just kind of helps show you exactly where each little piece goes on these inserts. So as you can see in that, we've got a piece that goes here on number 1, and your machine will have cut a little 1 on the side of this piece, and a 2 here, and I darkened that in with a marker so that you can see it in this video. And I went ahead and put my little teapot on there, and piece number 3 I went ahead and put my little burners into place, which we'll do in just a second on piece number 1. And then for the inside of the back panel, this little circle goes in the middle between these 2 little panels. So we can go ahead and glue those into place. Let's see, I might as well do that right now. And in my little circle, that cute little arrow that I have is called a game spinner from Tim Holtz. I picked it up at Michael's a couple months ago. It's this, and super cute. I've been using it for some random stuff here and there. I thought that was perfect for the little dial on the oven. But if you don't have those and you don't feel like trying to get a hold of them, you could just put a cute little brad in there, and that will look like a dial too, I think. Totally cute. So that's just a little arrow with a circle in it with a brad through it, and it comes with little brads. So glue that right to the back. Oops. Should give it a little more time to dry. And then piece number 2 is all done here, and so is piece number 3, insert number 3. So for insert number 1, we can glue this large rectangle with the rounded corners right onto piece number 1. And then I went ahead and glued the top of my burners to the bottom, and I just happened to use shiny silver paper for the bottom and black for the top. And I'm gonna line it up so that these are all going the same way. Doesn't really matter, but if you want to do the same thing, you can. If not, that's okay too. The only thing about this shiny paper is that if you get glue on it, it kind of is pretty visible. So as you can see, I'm just putting glue on this little half circle that's folded over, and I'm putting my burner right on that. So that way it can fold flat like a nice box card should, but it also pops up to look dimensional, which is cool. So there's insert number 1 already. So here is the front and side. I went ahead and glued this on. Then you can glue this piece into place. And if you want to put brads through it, you could, or you can use those little circles as guidelines to put some little sticky embellishments on if you want. I saw these on a cherryontop.com. They're by Pink Fresh Studio, which I've never heard of until I got them. But they are they're little like enamel dots. They're kind of squishy a little bit, and they look like sequins. So the black ones were perfect, or actually not black, I put the pink ones on here. They look like little knobs. Totally cute, but whatever you want to put on is going to look adorable. So for the little handle, you want to bend it both ways like this and use a brad to put that through. If you happen to have any small metallic looking brads, I think that's perfect. That's what I did. So you just want to do that to both sides carefully and put that little handle through. So then it also will fold flat carefully like a nice little box card should. And then you can glue your sides into place. Mine, I flip-flopped. Yours is going to look like this with the little circles over there. So you want to glue that into place, and then glue the other side into place. And if you want to leave these flaps how they are and loose, you can. I glued mine down just because I just like it that way. I think it looks more like an oven, but whatever you want to do is totally cool. And I put some little buttons and some bling inside of there, and I also rubbed an ink pad around the edge of the panel as well as the flap and the oven. That's something that I like to do quite a bit. So we can go ahead and glue our back panel onto the back. And our little stamped circle, I went ahead and stamped it with this. I got these at Michael's. They're by Hero Arts. I got them last year, so that would be 2015. I don't know if they still sell them at Michael's, but I did see some on eBay. If you really have your heart set on those stamps, they are really, really cute and useful. But like I always say, I'm sure there's plenty of other adorable stamps that would work just fine. Or you could even just write if you feel like you are happy with your handwriting, and it just makes it more personal. Even if you don't think you have the world's greatest handwriting, it would still just look really cute if you just wrote whatever. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. Happy birthday. Thank you. Whatever you have in mind for your card sentiment. So now here are the two pieces that make up the body of our little oven. And I put some glue on the side tab of one. I'm just going to glue one right to the other. And something that I like to do is I like to choose patterned paper that's kind of almost the same color as the solid paper that I'm using. I just like that effect a lot. I think it looks really nice, kind of blends together. But of course, if you want to go for a totally different look and use contrasting paper that's a totally different color, that is just a totally different look and could look cool too. I find myself pretty much always picking patterned paper that's really close to the same color as my project. So now all that's left to do is put these little guys into place, which is nice and easy. So I'm going to take piece number one here, and I'm going to fold these flaps towards myself and put some glue on them. And put them right in place with the front of the tab flush with the front of the box, the top of the tab flush with the top. So it's all nice right angles. And before it's completely dry, you want to fold it both ways to make sure that it's going to fold flat. And it does. So there's our cute little first insert. So same thing with insert number 2 here. Just fold those towards you, put some glue on them, and then the front of each tab is going to be flush with the tab that we just put in. As long as it's in right angles and it's spaced out nicely, it's going to be just perfect. So the length of that tab helps you space it out. And then again, before it's dry, fold it both ways. And you are good to go. And then the same exact thing with number 3, except fold them away from you if you'd like. Either way, it does not matter, but I think that's a little easier. So pop that into place with the back of the tabs flush with the back of the box, and the top of them flush with the top of the box. So there you go, cute little oven box card. Oh, almost forgot the envelope. I don't usually show the envelopes, but every once in a while I get a question, someone's a little bit confused on how they go together. So this is the envelope. This large flap is the top. So you just want to fold those two sides in. I like to put a line of glue along just like that. Fold that into place. Maybe give it a few extra moments to dry. And then when you're ready, you can put your card inside, and let's see how nice it fits, because that's the really cool thing about the box card is how it folds flat and is so dimensional. Oh, this is my original one. That's okay. So as you can see, that just fits inside really nicely. You can slide it on in, close it up, and then if you want, there's an optional panel. You could emboss this, rub some ink around the edge of it, what have you. Use pattern paper if you want. Makes it a little extra special. Next, for our cute little typewriter box card, if you would like to take a look at your PDF, you can see that the inserts are laid out like this. So there are 6 of them, and I will put those together. So again, your machine will have cut a number into the side of each one of those inserts, and that just helps you see which one is which. And for the first 4, there are a set of keys, and it's just black on top of white, at least in my case. Maybe yours are a different color. So you can go ahead and put those together just like it looks. And as you can see, I didn't bother putting glue on each of those little things. I don't think it's necessary. If you want to, you can, but I think it's fine just like that. So for 1 through 4, I went ahead and glued those together, and then I'm going to put some glue on the back side, and I'm just going to glue that right into the middle of that piece. So if it's between those score lines, and the same thing with 2 and 3 and 4. And for 4, it's going to be in the middle and also flush with the bottom. As you can see in your PDF, if you take a look, and I already glued 3 into place, and then for 4, I glued this little flower in place, and this just goes right in the center at the bottom. So for 5, I glued my little flowers and my leaves into place. You can layer those up however you want. If you want to line them up so that they line up perfectly, you can kind of see how they line up, or just glue them however. I think it looks fine because it's a flower. It's cool if it looks kind of, if it looks a little whatever, basically. So for piece number 6, I've got this plain rectangle, which kind of overhangs the top and bottom a little bit. I just want to center it. And then I just happen to use, again, my stamps by Hero Arts from Michaels that I got in 2015. That was just a cute little stamp to put up there. But I'm sure there's a wide range of stamps that would look so cute, especially if it's like a typewriter looking font, or even if not, it's going to be really cute. So now for the outside, I went ahead and glued my back. This is my back with the frame and the little stamped sentiment. I went ahead and glued this together, which I'll do on this one here, but as you can see, it just folds over like this with the panel and the circle and then the panel. And I glued that little guy on top too. We can glue this into place right onto it. And the front into place like so. And these just fold over like this. I can glue my space bar into place like this. And maybe as it's drying, kind of make sure it's going to go flat and it's going to fold. Sometimes if it dries only in one way, it doesn't want to do the other way, so that it'll fold flat. And then we can go ahead and glue our little circle on, which I think looks really cute with a little button on it to make it look more like a knob or a dial or whatever you call that thing at the end of a typewriter. So we can glue the back into place using that side tab. And the same goes for the other side. And even though it's kind of a crazy shape, it's really pretty straightforward, because once we've got the box shape together here in just a minute, all that's left to do is just pop those inserts into place, which I don't normally have 6 inserts in a box card. Usually it's like 1, 2, or 3. So this is kind of my craziest box card as far as number of inserts goes, but it's worth it because it makes it nice and detailed, like a cute little typewriter. So the only thing that is the downside of that many inserts is they are pretty small. So it makes it a little bit harder to glue into place, but hopefully you think it's worth it because it does look really cute. So as you can see, I glued those into place, and the bottom of the tab is flush with the bottom of the box. So that's a little bit different too, but that's what we want to do. We want those to be flush with the bottom. And then before it's completely dry, fold it both ways to make sure it's gonna fold flat. So go ahead and do the same thing with piece number 2. Fold those tabs towards you and glue that into place with the front of the tab flush with the tab in front of it and flush with the bottom of the box. So you just want them to be flush with the bottom of the box, and preferably flush with the one in front of it, and that would be perfect. So if you look at it from the bottom and you kind of position it, you can kind of pinch it without having to try to get your finger in that small space. Make sure it'll fold flat. Same thing with insert number 3. Flush with the bottom of the box. Oops. Getting a little bit of glue all over the place. What are you going to do? And same thing over here. And same with insert number 4. And this would look cute with some kind of little sticky embellishment in the middle of the flower. And almost done here. This is one of those cases when more details takes a little more time, but that is what makes it super cute in this case. Okay, so that just lines up and looks really cute. That pretty much meets there. Now we can do the same thing. I'm going to jump over to piece number 6 and glue that into place, still with those tabs flush at the bottom. It's a little bit larger, easier to work with. So the back of those tabs are flush with the back of the box, and the bottom of it is flush with the bottom of the box. And you can see it just sits inside that little cutout there. And then this guy can they can go like this or they can go like this. Either way, as long as it's centered there, that's perfect. And also flush with the bottom of the box. So there we go, super cute typewriter box card. And finally, for its envelope, in case you're wondering, it's shaped like this, and you just want to fold those 2 sides in, put some glue on the bottom to glue the bottom into place. And then when you're ready to put your card in, you just close it up with some glue or a sticker. But again, that's the cool thing about the box cards, is how they fold flat carefully to go inside their envelope, and then when you give it to someone, it's kind of awesome. Next, for our adorable little Teapot Box Card, it's actually not laid out as far as the inserts go in your PDF because it's a little different than your typical box card. As always, you can see your shapes in your PDF if you want. So I went ahead and I glued together this, which is pretty much the same as this. So what I did is, first I took one of these guys, and there are 4 of them. All 4 of them are the same, so just grab one and glue that right up at the top, lined up all nice and neat. And then your panel here, which you don't want to put the glue out here because it's going to stick off past the edges. So glue that into place flush up there with the top, and like so. And I went ahead and glued my panel onto this, and these 2 bottom gold panels are the same, except on the back there's a little frame as well as an area you can stamp. So now these are almost identical, except the front and the back look a little different. But as you can see, there's a little more space down here at the bottom, and it just kind of creates that little bottom, kind of like an even spacing. So if you were to center this panel on top of this one, perfectly centered, that's fine. But ideally it should be a little bit higher, raised up. So you can go ahead and glue that right onto the front flap. And if you have a pop dot or something sticky and dimensional, pop dot, Zot, what have you, I think that's perfect to stick back there so that it's glued into place, but it's kind of dimensional, sticking off. So next, we can glue these together side to side like this. So pretty easy and straightforward. I'm just going to put some glue here and glue it together. Just line it up really nicely and just glue the handles together, making sure that you're not gluing the rest of it together. And then the same thing over here. So I'm going to glue those 2 spouts together. Nice and easy to line up. And it also folds flat. So next, I wish I had my Zots here. I would pop these guys up into place, but that's okay. So then for the center, you can either fold it away from you or towards you. It doesn't really matter. As you can see, I put my little, in my case, they're gold, little knob at the top on each side. And then just glue this right in the middle. And you want the bottom of it flush with the bottom of the box, in the back of the tab flush with the back of the box on both sides. And then all that's left to do is glue these guys into place. So there are 2 long rectangles that you just want to glue right onto the bottom. Just glue it nice and flat, maybe give it a little extra time to dry. Make sure it's totally dry before you bend your card. So put the other one on the other side, and then you can go ahead and do the same thing at the top. And that just finishes it off, makes it nice and pretty and sturdy. And then when it's time to fold it flat, you can go either way, like this. So then you can put your cute little flowers on there, and the leaf is just 2 little layers. You can line them up precisely, or you can make it kind of messy. Either way is cute, and then little embellishments on top are cute too. Then for the envelope, it goes like this. The larger round flap is the top. You just want to glue the bottom to the sides, put your card in, and you're good. For the Love You Mom card, it's pretty straightforward. You probably don't need to see me put it together, but just in case, as you can see, the envelope has an optional little embossed area. These are just layered up on here, and the flowers I went ahead and glued together. You can layer them up, line them up however you want. And I embossed the bottom layer with a pretty strip on there. I rubbed an ink pad on the strip. And then the cool thing, as you can see, for the love and the mom and the you, there are 2 layers. One is a little smaller than the other, so you just layer those on top. So there's a small E on top of a bigger E. And then this piece kind of makes it easy to see where they go. So you can see the top of the E, the top of the V, the O's are the same, the M's are the same. So you just want to glue those into place, and if you want to rub an ink pad on there to add some dimension, you can. And then just add it to your card base, and if you want to put this inside for added strength, you can. The envelope goes together like this, with the bottom gets glued to those 2 sides. Put your card in and close it up. And then for the cute frame card, whatever color scheme you have in mind is going to be awesome, I'm sure. So again, you can glue your flowers together however you'd like. Make them messy, make them more perfect, put some ink on them, add some bling on top, then your little frame goes on top. And again, I used this Hero Arts stamp set from Michaels from 2015. But again, I looked the other day and I did see some on eBay. So if you're really trying to find it, you think you can there, but whatever kind of stamp you want to use. This could be so versatile. It doesn't have to be for Mother's Day. So then your frame goes on top, and I think it looks really nice when the frame, they're very similar colors. This is patterned, this is not. I think that looks nice, but if you want to change it up and go buck wild, crafty style, and do whatever, just be sure to share a picture so I can check it out. So then this goes on the inside, so you can stamp or write whatever you want. And then for the envelope, these 2 pointy sides fold in, the round side folds up for the bottom. Glue those into place, put your card in, and you are good to go. So there you have it, really fun projects for Mother's Day and way beyond. I hope you have a blast making them, and if you do, you'll have to share a picture on our Facebook wall, or if you have a blog, make a blog post and share some photos, pin it on Pinterest so I can repin it on Pinterest too, or however you'd like to share. I always love to see, and so do the rest of our crafty friends. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time, and happy crafting.